Hello everyone, welcome back to our My 2018 tutorial series on our Catapult project. In our last lesson, we went ahead and built our Catapult arms. In this lesson, we're going to go ahead and try finishing up the modeling portion of our Catapult. So, all we need to do is make the netting for the Catapult arm here. So I'm going to create a cube and drop it into our scene. Go back down to a full screen here. And then I'll go ahead and just call this one Mesh Leather Strap. Okay, so I'm just going to scale this down flat, like a piece of leather. And then I'm going to scale it out in the x-axis. Okay, I'm going to move it down. To where it just comes out from underneath the beam here. Right about there is good. I'm going to go to face mode. I'm going to select the two end faces here. I'm going to hit extrude. And I'm going to extrude right up to the end here. I'm going to hit G, repeat last command. And I'm going to extrude just past it. That way when I extrude vertically, it won't be a gap between the beam. It'll just go into the beam. So now I'm going to switch the direction of the faces. Go face mode again. Select the top face here. Select this top face. Hit extrude again. Go up. Stop right before this part here. I'm going to hit G, repeat last command. I'm going to now go above the beam. Okay, so you can see it poking up over here. I'll select that face. Shift select this face. I'm going to hit extrude again. Okay, I'm going to stop right before this one. I'm going to hit G again. I'm just making sure like these straps just wrap around the beam. G one last time. There we go. Something like that's good. Okay, so now I'm going to go to edge mode. I'm just going to soften off these corner edges. I'm just going to select these two here. I'm going to hit W, push them down, hit R for scale, and just scale them together a little bit. Now I'll just bring this corner one up and in. Okay, I'll do the same thing to this side. I'm just going to grab these two corner edges, move them down, hit R for scale. I'm just going to scale them back together. Okay, there we go. Take this corner edge, bring it up, bring it in. Okay, there we go. Nice and rounded off. Now I just need to make a little bit of slack here in the middle of the strap here. So I'm going to go to object mode, turn on insert edge loop tool, double click on it to open up this floating window. Put up multiple edge loops with a value of 10. I'm going to click on the middle here, drop in all 10 edge loops along here. Close this down. Exit out of insert edge loop tool. I'm going to go to vertex mode. Marquee box over the center here. I'm going to press B for soft selection. That's an okay fall off. Here's all yellow. That means that it's too high of a fall off. You just have to hold down B and left mouse button drag until you get your fall off brush. Okay. All right, from here, I'm just going to hit W to move my translate tool. I'm just going to have them all go down to about right there. That looks good. Okay, so that's good. That's good enough for my first strap. I'm going to go ahead and get the texture going for this. I'm going to go to UVs and automatic. Okay, you see how big this is. I'm just going to help myself out a little bit by moving the projection panels down to where they're about the same width as my my strap. Also, just make to where the side panels are also relative to it. That'll just help out when I jump into my insert edge loop, or not my insert edge loop, I'm sorry, I misspoke, my UV texture editor. Okay, so let's do that now. Go ahead and jump into my UV texture editor. I don't know if you guys knew what I was just doing there. Those were the projection planes from my automatic projection. You can go ahead and edit those projection planes so they're a little bit more accurate to what you're working with. Okay, it's still not going to be perfect. I'm still going to have to edit this a little bit. So I'm going to take all these guys here, move them off to the side. These two are pretty close. I just need to scale these out a little bit where they're about like that. That looks a little more accurate to the shape of these guys over here. From here, I'm just going to go through and stitch all these together so that they'll all be running along the same length. Might end up having to splice these apart, but I want them all to be seamless to begin with. And just all I'm doing is hitting G. That's the reason why you're not seeing me pressing any buttons. I went to move and sew one time underneath cut and sew, and after that you can just hit G as long as you haven't done any other commands. Just repeating the last one I did. Okay, so here we go. They are all now in one strip. I'm now going to create a new shader for these guys. I went on Google a little bit ago and just went to leather textures, and I just downloaded this one. This one's gonna be the leather texture I'm going to use. You guys can pick whatever one you want. You guys can even use one of the existing textures inside there. It's up to you guys, but this will just give me a little bit of variation in here. So I'm going to go to assign. Let's do existing material, leather, and the existing material I'd already created when I was testing out a shader node that I wasn't really quite happy with. So I'm going to go to the color attribute, open this up. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and just create ourselves a brand new shader because this one actually has stuff typed into it. So let's go complete history. We're going to do assign favorite material, Lambert. Go to the color attribute, click on the file texture node, go to folder, and we're going to click on light brown leather. That's the one I downloaded. Hit open. Okay. I'll click on this one here, and now I can go ahead and let's see here from the side. Might be okay. I want to give myself a little more texture. Like so. This isn't seamless, but the side is not going to matter as much. From these guys here, on the other hand, it will matter. And some of these guys I can see are also not evenly spaced, unfortunately. So there we go. That should help a little bit. Let's isolate this one so we can figure out where the problem children are in it. It's on both sides on this part here, so I'm just going to go to cut. It looks like it's just this one shell here. I'll move that one over there. See if there's any other ones that look like they're horribly stretched. You know, I'm just not really happy with a lot of this part here. So I'm just going to actually select this and remap this part. That way I can kind of just figure out one by one which one is needs to be fixed. And I can just sew them in and I fix them. Might be all these guys. Let's see what these ones are. Okay, one on the bottom side. Yeah, it looks like all those ones are the ones that need to be fixed. So Give them a little more width so they are more similar to their background. Okay. This one here is kind of the most important one, so this is right in the center. Make sure that one looks good. Okay. From here I can go through and stitch the rest of these together. Okay. Just do move and sew all the way around. And I'm just hitting the G key on the move and sew function, so it just repeats the last command until it goes all the way around it. Okay. Okay, so from here I can just go ahead and let's just find two here. Let's see here. Does that look okay? Just this one centerpiece here doesn't look okay. So these two need to be stitched together. Okay, that's a little more acceptable. Part of that's just the seam, so there we go. That looks okay. Okay, so from here I'm going to just take this guy, I'm just going to duplicate it a couple times, move it down the line here. Move it up a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right, so for the last bit, I'm going to just take one of these guys. I'm just going to duplicate it. I'll rotate it on its side here. I'll do a little bit of editing on it. I want to make it where it fits over here. There we go. I'm going to go to vertex mode. I'll grab this set of vertexes right here. Turn on soft select. Bring the fall off a little bit more so I can push this back a little bit. Like so. Just turn soft select off the spot. And I'm just going to grab these vertex. I'm just going to move them down. Grab these ones, move them back. I'm just going to fit this one right down top of it. Okay. And I'm going to grab this whole set here. I'm going to hit B again, turn on soft select, make the fall off a little bit higher. I'm just going to rotate it on its side here so that it matches with the slope of this band going this way. Okay, so here I'm going to start with a weave as well. So this one's going to go under, so that means this part here has to go over. I'm just going to grab this set of vertexes right here. Make the fall a little less. I'm going to bring it up. This one goes over the top. I want to tilt it. So you rotate, make sure it matches that slope. I'll get the end piece there. Move over a little bit, down. This part down here, I want it to be a little bit closer to this part here, a little more snug. I'm going to bring it up. post that one there. Okay. And then these end pieces here, I got a little bit carried away, so I'm going to bring that back out like so. Okay, I'm happy with that. A little wiggly woggly over there, actually. Let's maybe straighten that out a little more. Look good from one angle. Drop soft select, just hand straighten some of these. Let these be perfectly straight, but they don't want to be quite so zigzaggy looking. Bring this up, just a little bit of point pulling. Okay, that'll work. Okay, so now I just need one on the other side. So I'm just going to hit, let's see here. Yeah, so I'm going to hit Control G, Control D, and I'm going to do a -1, and see the red arrow's facing this way, so it needs to be facing that way, so it'll be the scale X, since red is for X. So -1, the X scale, I'll pop it over onto the other side. Okay. You can do multiple of these as well if you want. If you want to make a one that comes out and wraps around this stone piece, you can do that, but I'm going to end it with that. That seems to be good enough for now. So I'm going to also borrow a couple of these screws from down here. I'm going to Control D and just duplicate them and add a little bit of decorativeness to the top bits here. So let's see here. I'll just do it to one side, that way I can just group it over. But let's go ahead and also put them on the beams up here. So let's go ahead and put one right here. Actually, those would be too close. Let's go ahead and just, I was thinking logistically wise, like that, if I want to have one in the center beam here, but maybe I'll just do one like this. On there like that. Okay, so then I'll do one more over here. And then I'll do just some of these leather bands on this side, kind of like keeping them in place. Okay, so then I'll select all these here. Again, I'll group these guys, Control G, Control D, and again, -1 the X scale to flip them over onto the other side. I've got a little bit more details going on there. All right, so that looks good. So now that this is all complete, I'm going to go ahead and select all of it, like so. And I'm going to hit Combine, Delete History. So that makes it now to where these are all one object. That's the reason why I wasn't naming those groups at the end, because I was going to combine this down to one object. So I'll just go ahead and call this one Catapult Arm. Okay. Let's put the mesh prefix in there. Mesh Catapult Arm. Okay. So now I'm going to bring this down. Right in here is probably good. Okay. I'm going to go to face mode. And I'm going to grab these two right here. I just want them to be, oops, let's try and soft select. B for soft select. I want this to be a little bit more thick. I'll select the bottom two faces as well. Okay, try X-ray. So I have to actually move this thing. There we go. complex frame. Hit R for scale. Scale this up a bit. There we go. Okay, so now I need to move my pivot point from up here down to here so it'll pivot off this angle. So I'll press D, and I'll just move the pivot point down into this location temporarily. Once I have the center beam in there, it's going to hold this in place. I'll have a little more of an exact pivot point, but that'll be good for now. So I'll hit D to exit out of pivot point mode, and now I can rotate based off this one pivot here. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It needs to come up just a little bit. That way, when it rotates, it doesn't clip through the bottom. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now I just need to create a peg that's going to go through here and hold this in place. So let's go ahead and just borrow something we have that's existing. I'll just take one of these axles here. Control D. Actually, let's go with metal. Let's take one of these ones from back here. Okay, so I already combined this down. So what we can do to borrow off this, though, is we can just go to face mode, select this chunk of faces right here, hold down Shift and press the period button, which will grow your selection. Make sure you have that whole peg. And then I'm going to go to duplicate face, or it's underneath mesh, edit mesh, underneath face, and duplicate. It's also this icon right here. There we go. So now I have a duplicate. So I hit center pivot, W. Now I have a duplicate of that mesh, and I can just bring this down over here. And this can be my peg that's going to go through. Hit R for scale. Okay, right around there. Okay. That's good enough. Let's see if that pivots on that, or if we need to move the pivot point. That does pretty good. Let's move the pivot point. That'll work. Okay, so now we have our mount for our catapult arm, and our catapult arm is pretty much done. So all we need to do now is create a brace, and we will be done with the modeling section. We are over 20 minutes now, though, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this lesson. In the next lesson, we will complete the catapult modeling process, and we'll go ahead and jump into the rigging portion of the lesson. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next lesson.